flexibility is a key. It's really key in order to build resilience. In order for us to even move forward throughout all these tough times, because so many things changed, we gotta be able to adapt. Otherwise, I don't see a way to move forward and not get stuck if we cannot adapt. So resilient people, what they do is they branch from a situation, they branch to different directions. It's not like you no longer gonna have a goal, you're gonna have it, you're just gonna probably change direction to get there, right? Being flexible and adapting, it's when you can still focus on a goal and accept the change. It's like seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Hello everyone, this is Inspired Tuesday. This is my weekly vlog that I started to add value and motivate my team at Icon Dental Center. And it was so positive to my team that I decided to share it with you in order to add value and motivate you too. And since the pandemic, I decided to change the format of the vlog and focus on topics related to the pandemic, because that's what I've been asked to do. So today the topic is build resilience. Resilience, it refers to how well we can deal and bounce back from a very tough situation. And we all are having tough situations, especially during this pandemic, right? So today I'll have 3 tips in here, and I'll start with 2, bring one quote, and then one more tip. I really hope this is helpful for you. Enjoy. Tip number 1 is change the narrative. So if you've noticed, a lot of times when we go through something tough in our life, like a bad situation, our brain tends to keep reliving that same situation. It's almost like rehearsing the pain, and it goes over like a spinning wheel that doesn't move, it doesn't go forward. And this is mainly called ruminating. Like we are almost pushing for that memory back and back and back and making that situation way worse, right? So the best way to deal with this, and anytime, is like to change the narrative. It's nice if there's a way to find the positive in any situation, because there's always pros and cons to any situation, right? If you can find a positive in the situation, it will really help you so you can change the narrative and include that positive in your narrative of what happened. I'll give an example, because this is happening to a lot of parents right now, right? Our kids are going back to school and most of it is online school. And we keep thinking, like, right, I went through that phase too, of like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And are you kidding that now on top of all this, these kids are not gonna learn? But as I change the narrative as, hey, maybe that's an opportunity for even me to be even more involved in a school. Because I've been involved, but now it pushes me to be even more, but participate even more, which is positive, And another thing too is I believe, even though my son is gonna be kindergarten, that they're gonna learn a little bit of independence throughout this process, because you're gonna have to, right? Because the teacher is not gonna be there, and they're gonna have to somehow learn how to log in and start doing some of these things that they wouldn't have learned if it was the same system that they've been doing all this time. It's an experience, because this is not going to be forever. So this is an experience that is going to change for them instead of being all the same. I know that in the beginning I was like, I can't believe this is going to be how he's going to be introduced to school. That's not cool. That's not good. And then you go back to the spinning wheel. Now I'm like, okay, that's a different way to be introduced, but that's an experience, right? He's being introduced to school during a pandemic. That's by itself something that's going to mark his life. And just changing the narrative already makes me accept the situation in a different way. So try to do that for yourself as well. Like change the narrative, find the positive, and push the narrative towards that positive. Otherwise, you're back to that spinning wheel, not moving forward. Okay, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is boost your self-esteem. So research, science demonstrates that self-esteem plays a really big role with someone like dealing and coping with stress and coming out and recovering from tough situations. So self-esteem is a big deal, and it's very important for all of us to boost it and work on it. And one of the ways that I find that you could work on it that I've noticed a lot of people, like when you're talking to a friend that is going through a hard time, think of how you discuss the situation with the person and you say, you know what, this has happened to all of us and I know it's tough, but you know, this happens and it's gonna get better. Isn't that how you talk to your friends a lot of the times? However, when you're talking to yourself, when something bad happens, you go like, I can't believe how dumb I am. And you know, I don't deserve it. I'm not enough and this is not good. So, you know, if you try to talk to yourself, use that conversation the same way you would talk to a friend, that's by itself already gonna help your self-esteem. And remember, self-esteem is huge in building resilience and dealing with stress. And right now there's a lot of stress going on. So you need to work on your self-esteem and believe that you are good enough. And all of us are going through tough situations together. And you know, don't put yourself down. You're not alone. It is tough and we're all up and down in a lot of the times, but you know, we build resilience and we are gonna go to the other side of this whole situation and get there even stronger. So this is the whole goal and this is the narrative that it should be with you, and that's what you should be believing. We're gonna get out of this stronger and learn a lot, even on how to deal with the stress throughout this process. So this is tip number 2.
A quote from Maya Angelou: I can't be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it.
Tip number 3 is be flexible. Okay, so flexibility is a key. It's really key in order to build resilience. In order for us to even move forward throughout all these tough times, because so many things changed, we gotta be able to adapt. Otherwise, like, I don't see a way to move forward and not get stuck if we cannot adapt. So resilient people, what they do is they branch from a situation, they branch to different directions. It's not like you no longer gonna have a goal. You're gonna have it. You're just gonna probably change direction to get there, right? Being flexible and adapting, it's when you can still focus in a goal and accept the change. It's like seeing light at the end of the tunnel, like from a different branch. Because if you cannot adapt, you're gonna see just darkness. You're not gonna see a way out of it. This is exactly like now I found a way. You're not gonna see a way out of it. So people that are flexible, they become better problem solving, and you gotta have to be a problem solving in this, like that skill needs to come in at this time, because there's tons of things going on problem. You have to find a solution for situations that you're being introduced to, whether it's at work, whether it's like even losing your job, like anything that is happening, you gotta have to get to branch out and see light on the other side. And you can only do that if you adapt to changes. Right? This is like being flexible. It is not easy, but it's a huge key right here in order to build resilience. And I said it in different Inspire Tuesdays, but you know, just rephrasing it in different ways and bringing it up again is just so we can all accept the facts that we need to be flexible and we need to adapt and still see light at the end of the tunnel, because there is light. If you accept the change, you'll see the light. So this is tip number 3. I really hope today those 3 tips were helpful for you, and keep sending your DMs and communicating with me. I always love to do that. I've said it time and again that this brings me and gives me purpose, and I love doing this and connecting with you. And until next time, my friends, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay optimistic. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.